card that I pulled specifically for you, Taurus, is Chrysocolla. So this is a card of compassion, self-love, mostly self-compassion, but also healing in grief and loss. It's a card that is really good for the heart, and with a tranquility and a calm sense of connectedness. We can do away with bitterness. There's no room for self-doubt. Our well-being comes from our self-love. And this card helps you to facilitate that, to bring that self-love to the surface. Forgiveness is a big, big factor here. Self-forgiveness, first of all, and then moving on with forgiveness of others. I'll share with you really quickly. I had a breakup several years back, and it was quite sudden and quite painful. And it involved betrayal, not on my part. And he begged me for forgiveness, to forgive him. Forgive me for cheating on you, right? And instinctually, I said, well, I'm not interested. That's not my work. Like, my work is to forgive myself for, being in this space, allowing the behavior, allowing you to treat me this way. Actually, I allowed it. I allowed that treatment to build up to the point where the betrayal happened. And so I said, that's not my work. And he just looked at me like, what's wrong with you? You need to forgive me so I can move. I was like, what am I going to just tell you you're okay? That's for you to figure out, right? So that self-forgiveness is the path to healing. And when I began to work on my own alignment and forgiving myself for having brought myself that far into that scenario, that's when my healing began, right? So this card, Chrysocolla, will facilitate those kinds of healing processes. But also, if you don't have, and you're not interested in healing anything in particular right now, you don't want to bring up any pain at this time. A lot of these readings at this moment with these crystals, a lot of the signs were focused around healing, trauma, healing past lives, healing old pain, digging out old stuff so that it can be brought to the surface to heal. So it must be just a time of sort of globally for all of us to really focus on tending to where we stand, tending to our own energies and healing them. But in a deeper way, at any given time we're doing that. But this feels particularly deep right now. But for you guys in this case, what I'm also getting is that deep, deep digging and, sort of emotional excavation doesn't have to occur. This could just mean a reaffirmation or a reinforcement of your self-compassion, revisiting it and renewing it, right? And just tapping into your heart and aligning yourself with yourself. Okay, this could be very simple. So let's just see what the Zen cards tell us, okay? We have the tree spread here. The lower branch is going to be where we are now. And then through the trunk, we're going to propel ourselves upward and onward into new levels, new energies, and higher vibrations, and learning, lessons. Okay, so where you start, Taurus, in the place of self-love and compassion for yourself is the Trust card. Probably my favorite card, definitely my favorite illustration of this whole Zen deck, because there is such a freedom and such a peacefulness to this. She's soaring through the air in this beautiful sky, a couple of my favorite colors that she's soaring through, and knowing, not just hoping and wishing, just knowing that she's going to land safely, or she'll keep soaring and being buoyed up by the next gust of wind. It is full trust, faith in the unseen. And this is a beautiful starting point when we're talking about tapping into our self-compassion, forgiving ourselves, and allowing ourselves to be a fallible creature, to make mistakes and learn from them, and allowing everything to be right here with us as it is. and knowing that from that comes our growth, and we're always going, we'll always make it through. We'll always be okay. That's a beautiful starting point. So if you can, in your meditation, Taurus, just find that space of knowing, and sometimes it takes some looking back. Sometimes you need to stand where you are and think, how do I know I can trust the future? How do I know I can trust what's coming next? Well, if you look backwards and see the path that you've carved, and see the challenges that you've encountered and that you've overcome and that you've grown from and become more empowered by, then you realize, yeah, I really will always be okay, because I always have been. Even in the really crappy times, I made it through. And here I am now. And I have more awareness than I had then. And I could be slightly a different person in ways. Aspects of myself are different. So yeah, you can trust, because you always do make it through, right? Even the toughest times. But I love that. I love that starting point within you, and hidden maybe from others, but you have this growing sense and this knowing that you're on the right path, that you are succeeding at this soul work, that your ability to love yourself enough to make mistakes and grow from them and move on is increasing by the minute. With every challenge, you feel stronger, right? So you know that you're having success at this. Your ascension is real, and your ability to love yourself through it is becoming stronger and stronger. Okay? In the external world here, and how it shows up sort of in your life, holding on to that trust and that knowing that you're on the right path. Oh, I love this. This is a great lesson in your external life, is the no thingness card. Attaching your desires and your needs to not to one thing, not attaching to any outcomes, not attaching your happiness on any person or any situation or any ideal scenario. Your happiness has nothing to do with these external examples. Your happiness is here in the trust, in the self-love, in that alignment with yourself, and the compassion and the willingness to let go and forgive. That's where your happiness lies. It's all within you. And when you are in full alignment, these outer things that you used to think, oh, I have to achieve this in order to be happy, they just fall away. They're not as important at all. I love that that these three cards are in, that's your starting point there. Because I feel that on the scale of things, Taurus, at this time, you're more advanced than you may think, or that you may give yourself credit for in the process of the soul work. You're really making strides. Okay? I love it. This is great. Okay, this trunk card here, this is the energy that we want to master or acknowledge in order to move forward and continue our growth. And that's the burden. And this is literally it's a cloud-based card in the Zen deck. It's just represents mental energies. So I'm going to take this quite literally in this position, in this reading, and say burdensome thoughts, negative thoughts, things that bring you down, things that take you further away from your self-love, from your self-forgiveness, from your compassion for your own inner being. The things that block you from that need to be dealt with. They need to be washed away. They need to sometimes just need to be ignored. You know, if you have negative repeated thoughts that come up, whatever they may be, you can begin a process for yourself that visually in your mind physically takes you down from mind to heart, head to heart, you could say, if a negative thought comes up, oh, I don't know if I'm going to make the deadline, head to heart. Just tell yourself, head to heart, I love myself enough. I will complete the work. If I miss the deadline, I am still a loving being. I am still okay. You know, just that practice of diverting yourself from this potential, negative thoughts have a way of, snowballing and gathering a lot of momentum. And we don't want to do that here. We want to acknowledge that we have the negative thought and then move on from it. Either bring the heart into the scenario, or literally just shut the thought out. Just nope, next, right? That's the practice. And that's what will bring you up to this next level of awareness, which is gorgeous. Oh, love it. Okay. Okay. So your next aspect, the next state of your expansion here, of your ever expanding heart. But the next level here for you is gorgeous. This is beautiful. It's rooted in the Innocence card. And this is, it tells the story, and I've told it before. It's my favorite aspect of this card, is how this wise old sage who knows everything, learned it all, could tell you everything, knows all there is to know, still is humble enough and finds joy and pleasure in the simplest things in life, just like through a child's eyes. The grasshopper he's looking at it in wonderment, so amused by it. Oh my goodness. It's an insect. It's a being right on my hand, That ability to see, especially in the heels of these burdensome thoughts, that ability to use trust, not attached to outcomes, and move right on to a fresh way of seeing things, and almost, some would say with that much trust and faith that it's almost naive, because those burdensome thoughts, those negative thoughts, they're what keep you in check. They're what keep you on your toes, right? Nope, they are what keep you in place. And if you want to progress on a soul level and move forward, then this trust must be firmly in place, sort of that blind faith. And we need to wake up every day with a fresh perspective, new start, fresh eyes. Everything I see, it's as if I were seeing it for the first time. That's where pure joy comes from. And that is connected to your heart space as well. That chrysocolla stone, the energy of that stone, will definitely help you in this process. Internally, as you begin this process of being willing to stay open and in wonderment in all that you're doing and all that you're achieving and learning, that willingness, it's supported internally by an openness, a receptivity. This card is a sort of an energy that's being received from up above, sort of through the crown chakra, down through all the chakras. And it's an emotion card as well. So it's keeping your heart open to what may come. And within you, others may not be aware of this aspect of you, but you have a growing sense that the more open you remain, the more fulfilling, the more exciting, the more wonder there is to be experienced. And you're really getting that process. You are really getting it. Like I said, Taurus, you're more advanced in your soul work than you may give yourself credit for. You got this. It's very simple. It just isn't always easy to put into practice. But in the moments that you are putting it into practice, you're extremely successful. And it's really resonating down through, all the aspects of your soul. You're getting this. And what's it doing for you in your outer world? What is that resulting in? A firm, strong, solid sense of your own being, while at the same time being able to be open and willing to have others lean on you and to lean on others, not to the point where you absorb one another into each other, but that you stay firmly rooted in who you are, and you allow those around you to stay as firmly rooted as you are in themselves. And from that comes just about the deepest and the loftiest connection that you could ask for. Your relationships will improve. from this heart work that you're doing. This is your work to do, but it spills off into your connection with others. It's gorgeous. This is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spread. And then at the top here, this last card, which is sort of, I like to say, the insight or the outcome of, or the apex to reach of the reading, is slowing down. This is a reminder that what is right under your feet is the most important thing for you right now. That tortoise, he doesn't look off 5 miles into the distance and wish, oh, I wish I would have crossed that finish line now. He's just right here. And in the next step, he'll be right there. And then he'll be in the next, right? Just absorbing it all in. That also facilitates this space, this innocence card. Being able to slow down and take it in. And fully just embrace what's going on around you and within you is where you can solidify your progress. Your heart is ready for this. Your ability to align yourself with your own love for yourself is at your fingertips right there. It's just a couple of tweaks. Make sure to acknowledge and release the negative thoughts. Don't attach to any specific outcome, and let your happiness be the goal. But it's all sitting right there within you. So all you need to do is slow down and be with it, and the happiness is there. Now, this isn't like, all sweetness and light. I'm not trying to say, once you get this, your life is going to be all that. We all have challenges. We all have pain. We all have dark spaces and shadow. But in this practice, it sort of shores up your strength of well-being in order to more quickly or more easily or, with less damage, deal with these painful moments and deal with the challenges that come. This alignment and this caring enough for yourself to love yourself through it. And that's where you're at now, Taurus. You've got this. It's beautiful. I love it.